Look at this gorgeous artwork for Sonic X Shadow Generations, showing the two final bosses of each campaign, being the Time Eater and I assume some alternative version of Black Doom, which looks super cool in this image, with Radical Highway on the right representing Shadow, and on the left we have Speed Highway representing Sonic, which might mean that the final boss of Sonic Generations, which is heavily criticized by a lot of people including myself, might get changed to be, you know, more in line with the Sonic X Shadow kind of theme going on. You know, it's just the same game, but at the end they tie together somehow with the final boss fight. That would be really cool. I mean, they do need to change some things up with Shadow in Sonic Generations, because, like, why is he just there fighting Sonic? He's like a rival fight in the original, and the stories are supposed to be happening simultaneously. And this image gives more credence to that theory. I made a whole video talking about how we might get extra new levels in Sonic Generations, and this remake might be more integral with Shadow Generations than we initially thought. But in that video, I also teased talking about what I thought would be the fourth playable character. So as you can see here on the Japanese website, it shows Sonic and Classic Sonic for Sonic Generations, and Shadow, and then another coming soon slot for where there would be another playable character. Who do I think this playable character is going to be, and more importantly, how do I think he's going to be implemented into the game? In my opinion, it can't be any, like, mainstream appeal, recognizable Sonic character. This game is coming out in just over a month. If this character would have been useful in marketing material, they would have used him already. There's trailers saying there's 3 hedgehogs as well. If they were going to add a 4th hedgehog like a classic Shadow, I don't really think they would be saying in trailers that, like, go up on TV and other places, advertising the game as having 3 hedgehogs when there would in reality be 4. But still, point is, in my opinion, for those reasons, I think this character is going to be someone a little bit more niche. But this isn't any old random niche character just thrown in there for the sake of it. This is a character that has connection to Shadow, and has already come back in Sonic X Shadow Generations in the form of this animation, which is this Gizoid character, Emerl. I haven't played Sonic Battle. He comes from Sonic Battle. There's a lot of lore there. Why I think Emerl is going to be in Shadow Generations, and maybe even Sonic Generations, is not because of his lore necessarily, but more importantly, because of his gameplay. In Sonic Battle, Emerl is the only character that can copy other characters' abilities and mix and match them in a custom skill set. You know what that reminds me of? The different skill sets you can equip in Sonic Generations. But now, instead of using these lame skills that were made for us in 2011, we have over 10 years of Sonic Boost gameplay styles to take moves from as potential skill kits. So my idea is that Emerl will be playable in every level in Shadow Generations, and possibly every level in Sonic Generations as well. The reason I think he won't have his own dedicated act is because we already know that Act 2 of Shadow Generations levels are going to be 2D, while Act 1 is fully 3D. They said they're paralleling the structure from Sonic Generations for Shadow Generations. I don't think they're going to have a third act for Emerl. What I think is that Emerl is just going to be an extra bonus character that you unlock near the end of the game that you can use to replay levels with your own custom Sonic skill set. Kind of like a more expanded version of being able to tweak all the physics sliders in Sonic Frontiers. This is obviously going to be based on modern Sonic, not classic Sonic, but who's to say there can't be a skill to add the classic Sonic moves like the spin dash from Generations, or even something from the actual classic Sonic games, like an insta-shield. But the idea is that the base move set will just be a jump and a homing attack, and that's it. But his gameplay is pretty much based off the core of modern Sonic, right? Then you can add skills like the boost. You can pick what type of boost, you know, the Sonic Frontiers boost. Maybe it would cost less points than the Sonic Unleashed boost. That can, like, mow down enemies and would be like 20 points instead of 10 points. You could add the Frontiers / Lost World spin dash. Dude, that would have to be like 80% of the skill board. That is an OP skill to have. You know, simple things like the Stomp you could even customize. So, like, if you really want to squeeze in a bunch of OP abilities, you could sacrifice simple ones like the Stomp or double jump in order to try and fit those into your set. Just like you tried to fit in all these cool abilities from Sonic Generations original into your set, although it was a lot more lackluster, you know, just speed up, acceleration, etc. But I really think all of the pieces are there, gameplay-wise and story-wise, for Emerl to be this secret fourth character and actually have this gameplay. I know it's like a pie-in-the-sky pipe dream, it's what I would want type thing, obviously, maybe wishful thinking, but I think there's precedent. Emerl is a character with a history of customization in the only game he was playable in. He ties to Shadow's lore, he's already in the animation. Sonic Generations already had a skill set system, so you can just copy paste that general format of how he's upgraded to Emerl without like confusing people, because it's already like in the same game with the remake of Generations. You wouldn't have to make new levels for him, all you would have to do is, you know, just make a cool character to play. And this customization of how the character actually plays in a mainline Sonic game has been in the last two Sonic games with the avatar and the physics slider. I think it's a logical next step, especially since Shadow doesn't have the spin dash. I love that that's the case for his moveset and for the level design of Shadow Generations, but you can't deny how fun it is to just break a level with the spin dash like in Sonic Frontiers and to a lesser extent Lost World. So the fact that I can't do it in this game is a bit of a bummer, but if this Emerl idea is real, dude, we could basically make our own custom Sonic modded character. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's also a history of customizing bots in the latest Sonic Superstars. Dude, the more I think about this idea, the more it makes sense and the more excited I am for it. It's still just a theory, I'm not gonna actually expect it to happen, but it's just a really cool idea to think about. Now, before I end this video, I do want to clarify that I kept accidentally calling him Emerl, which is like an Eggman recreation of Emerl, and Emerl was the person I meant to be talking about this whole time. I haven't played the games these characters are in, so I just saw Emerl around, thought it was the same as Emerl, got the names mixed up or what have you, but yeah, I meant Emerl the whole time. So as an apology to Emerl and all of his fans, I decided to make a mock-up of what I was talking about. So here you can see it's laid out in the same way as Sonic Generations, except this time we have two locked abilities being the homing attack and jump. That doesn't contribute to the overall point count. It would be 50 out of 100. All of these numbers are tentative, but they basically kind of represent the level of power between each ability. We have the normal stomp from Sonic Unleashed, which is just, you know, the typical stomp that's in most Sonic games. Then we have the stomp from Sonic Frontiers, which has that 3 stomp little electricity thing, slightly powerful stomp, 10 more points, but it has the same symbol, so you can't like overlap it. Like have 2 stomps from 2 separate games in the same kit, like that doesn't work, so you can't overlap with the already existing kind of icon. So you can't have like 2 types of spin dashes, for example, because like how would that work? You can't have 2 different boosts or like 2 different jump things. I should add like air dash and that would, and like from Sonic Generations, right? Or like Sonic Unleashed. Actually, dude, the Sonic Unleashed air dash, oh my god, that one is not my favorite, but you could maybe also use the Sonic Generations air dash or whatever, and that would occupy like this icon slot. So you couldn't have like a double jump and an air dash, only one or the other, because you only can have one thing happen when you press the jump button a second time. So just common sense restrictions are in place with these icons, and the point limit you could like mix and match to your heart's content. In the original Generations, there was only like 5 slots you could use, so you couldn't like stack a bunch of 10-point abilities. With the other icon restrictions in place, I think that could be lifted, and you could just add like as much as it fills up to 100, you know? So that's how I think it would work. I would love to hear what you guys think about this idea, or what you actually think will happen, or maybe some other ideas you might have in regards to how this could work, or what the playable character will be. Maybe you don't even think it's going to be a playable character. It could be like a lore character that they're teasing that's important just for the website, like, oh, the new character is Mephiles and he's just really behind it all, but you don't even play as him. I don't know, something like that could happen, but it's a fun idea to think about. Regardless if it's in the game or not, I am extremely excited for Sonic X Shadow Generations, so I definitely will be making more videos on the game even after it comes out, so subscribe if you want to see some more content on this game. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in another video.